Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining from. I'm Aaron Parecki, and I'm here with Mother Bee in her studio. Still in New Zealand, so it is late afternoon here, and I decided I did not want to get up at 4 a.m. to do a stream at 5 local time. Instead, bumped the stream to this afternoon, so sorry to everybody in Europe who is watching this on the replay, unless you are joining live in the middle of the night, in which case, thank you for watching. So, bunch of folks joining from Australia today because we're finally at a good time there, which is always nice. And, oh, somebody else from New Zealand. Awesome. Okay, so the plan for today is going to be a little bit different than normal. I am here in this studio to help Mother Bee finish setting things up. As you can tell, she's done a very good job with staging the set and everything, and we'll take a look around at all the lighting and stuff that's hanging from the ceiling. Very, very good start, and actually most of the cameras are already connected too. So we're going to go through, just try to make sure everything is working right and talk about what her plans are for the studio. So why don't we start with tell everybody what your channel is and what you do videos about.
Hi, so my real name is Annalisa Badilles, so I'm just called Mother Bee in social media. And I do baking and cooking recipe videos, and sometimes I go live to teach and show people while I'm baking and cooking. I'm a food technologist by profession, so that's why I love food. And now I've added gardening as well. So the purpose for this studio is to make it easier for me because I have a full-time job. That easy when I turn on the power, the cameras are ready for me, different angles, so that it doesn't have to eat up my time.
Yep.
And easier for me to just keep creating contents. And then I started in my kitchen actually. Then
right
now.
So even though this looks like a kitchen, it's not a real kitchen. I mean, it is a functional kitchen, but it is a set. So the house kitchen is in a separate building back there, and we're in a little shed, about what, 2 meters by 3 meters?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we'll take a look around in a little bit here. So yeah, I like the idea of having everything ready to go, turn everything on. It's set up, because I totally relate to that. If there's a barrier between me getting into the studio and then being able to hit record, then yeah, it's gonna take. I'm just gonna make less stuff. So
I get lazy.
Yeah, yep. I want everything to just be ready to go, show up, turn everything on, not have to fiddle with all the settings for the cameras, and just have it ready. So we're going to try to make sure that is how we leave this space today, as much as we can. There's a lot of gear here, and hopefully we don't need much more. Hopefully there's enough here to make it all work.
He's warning me.
Yep. But no, there is quite a lot of stuff here. So let's take a quick look around. And oh, funny story, I brought the Hollyland wireless transmitters and then forgot the batteries. So I don't have a wireless rig, but instead I did bring a cable, so I can at least point this camera around. And thankfully the room is small enough that I shouldn't ever have to move. I should be able to be tethered to this without any problem. So let's start by talking about the pieces of the set, because you have a couple of different sort of stations, right? So let's start with that. And I'm going to get off this chair. JT says Aaron always forgets stuff. It's true. I don't have a very good packing list. I need to work on that. So this camera, let's see. The laptops don't normally live there. Do you want to talk about the sort of main stations that you have set up for the cooking? And let's start with this stove, which is an actual stovetop, right?
Yeah.
And it's very small in here, so we're gonna hopefully be able to navigate.
So I have a camera pointing at the stove because if I need to cook something any sauces or fillings, I want to show to my followers how I cook it. And then I have another camera pointing on the mixer, so that when I'm doing baking, I could show them what I'm mixing in the mixer as well. And sometimes I do hand mixing, or if I show each ingredient measured, I have a top-down camera in here, which points onto the table. Usually the table is in the middle of the shot. And then I have a camera facing me. I have two angles. So one on the gimbal, which I haven't mastered yet how to balance and how to focus, but that has a 3D focus attachment, and then I have a raven eye so that it could follow me when I'm very ambitious, but I don't know how to use it. So hopefully Aaron will help me, and maybe other YouTubers who masters this can tutor me. And then I have this other camera, Blackmagic. If I wanted to focus it further into what I'm doing, I could just move it. It's attached on a railing. If I wanted to use it as another front camera to face me, it could stay that way. The disadvantage on this one is its waist and its light movement. So I have to warn my family not to come in here when I'm filming. And yeah, and then I have the switcher. So I have the Rodecaster Pro, which I haven't set up properly yet for my audio, which I have that mic here to give me a better sound, hopefully. And then I have the Rodecaster, how do you call it?
Wireless Go.
Yeah, wireless Go. And then the ATEM Pro ISO, which I'm running out of.
Yeah, you may have noticed that there's more cameras than there are ports on this, so we're going to have to figure out a solution for that.
Yeah, because we don't have anything left for the streaming bridge, which is hiding.
And why do you need a streaming bridge?
Because I've decided recently to have this case portable, so that I could bring it out when we're traveling in the Philippines, because I do baking demos in the Philippines, or sometimes just traveling around New Zealand, or when I'm out in the garden. So I wanted this to stream to the streaming
to that
bridge.
One. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's quite a kit. Yep. And oh yeah, JT's pointing out this is one of the original stands that I designed a long time ago.
From Australia.
From Australia. That's the one that's right. That's the one that JT actually made himself.
Oh.
He's the one that produced it. So
I'm Mother B.
From me, he says. Yep.
So you should remember my email address.
Yep. Yeah, Eric says overhead rail mount for the camera is cool. Keeps it from taking up space on the tripod. That's one of the things I think you did a really good job in here of, is actually there's very little stuff on the floor that isn't furniture. So like if we just look up here, everything is on these rails, and I am going to take some notes here because I need to do this in mine. Although my ceiling, I can't reach my ceiling. I can touch this one, but I can't reach the ceiling in my studio. But the rails are great because then everything is mounted up and off the floor, and these little thing that you can pull and lower is really cool.
Actually, the gimbal, I can put it up as well. It used to be, yeah.
Oh,
it used to
yeah,
be in
okay.
here.
That's, yeah, makes sense. And then, yeah, the other cameras are also mounted up on the rails, and all the lights are hanging from the rails, and the microphone. Although this one's not on, this one's just hanging, so we may have to fix that.
I haven't purchased a proper...
But yeah, really, really great. And then I did notice that you have some lights here that are just filling in the background with
Yeah.
light, which is really good too. So it's really well lit
Because
in
if I
here.
put a softbox, it will show in my
Yeah, exactly.
shot.
Yep.
But
The softboxes are really big, but you do have two of the tiny ones here, which are great.
but I think I need my background to be properly lit.
Yep.
Like
Absolutely. Yeah, the background lighting looks really great. It looks like you're in a real room here. So this is a lot of stuff. Oh, JT noticed the green screen. That's right.
Oh.
Hanging from back here.
yeah, I have to fix that because
Okay.
when we installed that, we did not put the cabinets yet. So now I can no longer pull it down.
Oh yeah, it would land
Yeah,
here. I can
so
see that.
I need to transfer that to here,
Yeah.
so that when I do like a podcast style, I can have a green screen.
So a lot of stuff in here, and it's almost all set up. But there's a few missing pieces. So, and we want to talk about sort of the plan for how you want to use this stuff. So, like you did a really good job with all the cable runs too, because the cables are nice and tidy and out of the way, which is really good. But let's talk about the screens over there, because we also have the monitors.
Yeah.
So the first monitor is the lower monitor is the ATEM that is more or less permanently installed here. So this ATEM runs the HDMI out into that bottom monitor so that we can see the 4 cameras that are plugged in there. The 4 cameras that are plugged in are the ones around the room. So the three top-down shots. One is, you can see the mixer in one of them, or here I can just full screen it. So the mixer is here. The other one is we've got the stovetop, which is right now just a black stovetop with nothing on it except a laptop. Oops, focus. Hello. And then number 2 is the top-down camera that is where the countertop would be. So that's the countertop would go into the middle of the room here, but it's out of the way right now. And number 3 is the Blackmagic camera, which I think Motherby has similar frustrations as I do with dealing with LUTs on those cameras. So all the top-down cameras are the Lumix G7s, and those are nice and easy to manage. And then, of course, you have to make the Blackmagic cameras match it, which is always a challenge and one of my least favorite activities, frankly.
I could understand it.
Yeah. So there is a lot on there, but you can clearly tell it's different colors than the rest of them. So those are those cameras, but then we have this other ATEM here. And the idea with the other ATEM is that it's part of this portable kit, which can be removed. And this is a very good build. I'm also really impressed with all the build here. Got nice little plexiglass panels. Oh, we took off this one, but this one goes over there to cover that up. And that looks a lot nicer. And there we go. This box has an ATEM and a YoloBox, and all the cables for everything are broken out the back. So on the back of that, there's ports, HDMI ports for all the inputs into the different devices. Can we spin it around?
Yeah, carefully.
Carefully, it is connected to stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get the camera back there now. Oh yeah, there we go. So yeah, you can see the nice little patch panel here, nicely labeled. And there's a really cool thing that I didn't even know existed. I'm going to show you the one on the front because it's easier to see. A cool little HDMI splitter, which is just bolted or glued or something stuck on.
Double adhesive.
Double-sided sticky tape onto the front. And it's got 1 input, 2 outputs, but it's all flat, facing the same direction. A lot of the other splitters I've seen are like, you plug one in on that side and then it's got 2 out on the other side, which is not good for this. So this is perfect for this. And there's nothing behind it. It's just this little block.
Yeah.
So there's one of these on the back also. And what we just did already before we went live was a little bit of rewiring that, basically to make it so that we could send the ATEM output to two different places. Because there's two different things you want to do with this, right? So one of the goals with the box is to be able to stream from this kit to the ATEM in the studio, right? So that you can be live in the studio here, but then use the main kitchen oven, right?
Yeah. So because I don't have an oven here because it's so noisy and hot during summer, so therefore I want this to be there so that when let's say the cake batter is in a pan, I could hand it over to my daughter, bring it upstairs, and it will automatically show that angle, and then when it gets removed, the same.
Yep. That's great. So for that setup, you would be going from this ATEM Mini Pro into the streaming bridge into that ATEM Mini Pro.
Yeah.
So this box would be in the other room. And then the other use of this would be to actually do a live stream entirely from this box.
Yes.
So
when at the moment it's all powered from the main power, but let me show. It will. So maybe you should show it to them if you can.
Is there a...
Yeah, so this one is the power. So once I unplug this is the battery.
Yeah.
Why it's not
Oh,
powering?
here it goes. It's going. Oh wait, no, the YoloBox is powered on battery.
No, it should be going.
Everything turned off.
Because we practiced last night.
Is that switch on the battery?
Oh, true.
Yep.
It's my husband who decided. So.
Great. Okay, so now the whole rig is running off the battery.
Yeah, so the purpose of the switch is so that when it's plugged on the main power, it will not go to the battery.
Yeah, makes sense.
Which I don't understand, but...
So now that this is running off the battery, we can take this outside, and then you would run the stream entirely from this box, not using the studio gear at all, right? Yeah. So in that case, we actually want the ATEM output to be going into the YoloBox so that we can stream from the YoloBox. So you can see we've got the multi-view of the ATEM is now showing up here, right? And if you go to press the program on the ATEM, now we can switch between the cameras that are plugged into the ATEM going into the YoloBox. And of course, because of that splitter in the back, we can see it on the big TV here, because that top TV is also the running out from the ATEM. So switch back to the multi-view, and we've got the second ATEM's multi-view up there. So those are the two different modes of using this, and this is the part that's not quite finished setting up. We need to do some network configuration to get it so that this ATEM can stream to the streaming bridge in the studio. But that's also where we kind of run out of inputs.
Yes.
Because the main ATEM is already full. We've got the four cameras, front view, and the 3 overheads. And let's put this on the stove so we can see that there's actually something there. And we're out of inputs, so we need to figure out what to do. That could be replacing the small ATEM with an ATEM Mini Extreme. You like that idea? Yep.
I just have to have the approval from the boss.
From the
From the manager, no.
Yeah, no.
I also have work, so I have money.
Good. And then you'd have plenty of inputs to be able to connect the 3 overheads, the front, the streaming bridge, and then you also mentioned wanting to use a computer, right, for showing recipes and stuff.
I also want this.
And the YoloBox Pro, which is what we're streaming on today. So I brought my little rig in here to stream from, so we're actually running this off of the YoloBox Pro with the PK1 cage. camera on the top for the front shot, and I've got my Lumix plugged in with a cable right now because I left my batteries for the wireless rig at home. So for the studio, the ATEM and Extreme does seem like it would be a great upgrade, because you do have a lot of cameras, a lot of different angles in here, and it is one of the best ways to get that many different angles all connected into the same thing, and being able to switch it easily with the nice buttons on the front. But in the meantime, in order to set up the steering bridge to get this thing talking to that thing, we'll have to actually disconnect one of the cameras.
Maybe this one.
Maybe that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, leave the overheads. Yeah, so really, really fantastic. I wouldn't even say this is a good start. This is like, there's a lot here. It's almost all done, and the wire management is much better than mine in my studio.
The railing helped.
The railing is fantastic. I really like this the railing situation going on. Wow, my lens is really dirty. Oh, I think it's because I brought the camera out in the rain the other day, which was maybe not the best idea. Yeah, the railing up there is great. And yes, Mother Bee is another purple lover. Big fan of purple here. And I think we may have to do a special run of the ATEM stands and the YoloBox cages in purple to make sure that she gets one here. Okay. So that was a good overview of what's in the studio. But I think it's time to get to some of the get to work.
Yes.
We've got a couple things left to do.
Yes.
Here. We want to make sure that we can actually get this ATEM to stream to that ATEM with the streaming bridge. And then we also want to make sure we get the audio set up, because right now we've barely looked at this. I do see the levels are coming in on channel 1, so at least the wire for the microphone is plugged in, but we want to make sure that it's actually sounding right going into here.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. And
that's my weakest point.
Yeah, well, frankly, mine too. Oh, you know what we didn't show people is the little wireless rig you have there, because that's actually really cool.
It's a it's a Frankenstein.
No, it's great. It's on the.
Don't criticize.
I love it. It's great. So it's a little handheld tripod holding up. I can't even tell what clamps you've got. It's quite a collection of little clamps. Holding up a GoPro as well as the Hollyland transmitter, but you've also got a battery to power everything.
That's for my phone.
A phone battery.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the Hollyland transmitter going into this other, the portable rig, the portable ATEM rig. So
I think camera 1.
Camera 1 is, so we can look at the view from the GoPro is up on that TV. That's the GoPro feed, which you can definitely tell it's a GoPro feed. But it's a GoPro, what, 5?
5.
Which is actually a really, one of the really good versions of GoPros for this stuff. Because
they're cheap now.
They're cheap, and also they
have HDMI.
Have HDMI out, which the new GoPros technically have an HDMI port, but they really don't want you to use it for viewing video. But yeah, super cool little handheld rig. Received by this box. So okay, let me see if we have any questions here before we get going into the streaming bridge config. Eric says the front-facing HDMI splitter is also very cool. I agree. That's a cool little piece of gear. I might get a couple and try them out myself.
At least I contributed something.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
Oh, and I have this sitting thing, the stool that hides my stands.
Oh yes, that is a very important. We didn't talk about the furniture in here, but yeah, that's a very important piece. It's kind of tucked back behind this YoloBox right now, but that seat, that bench opens up, and that is where a big mess is stored. Yep, important to keep things out of the way. These are all my messy cables, so don't blame her for those. But yeah, nice. Keeps that out of the way, which is great. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is set up this ATEM to be able to stream to the streaming bridge, plug the streaming bridge into this ATEM and receive the stream. And then be able to quickly go back and forth between the different modes. So your laptop is over here, and then let's see, I guess we can, how are we going to do, let's move this over here, and we can get this laptop on the stove. Just don't turn the stove on.
Maybe just there.
Yeah.
This.
So, oh, and then I need to swap this battery already. Gosh.
I think I have.
Oh no, I have. They're in that pouch. Can you just grab that little?
This one?
No, the little zipper pouch. Yep. These are my Lumix GH5 Mark II batteries. So, okay. Just in case I need a handheld shot again. Oh, question from Eric. First thing, disconnect the Raven gimbal cam from the ATEM ISO. So that's actually plugged into the travel kit right now. Well, it's plugged into that another Hollyland transmitter, plugged into the travel kit, not plugged into the main ATEM. Yeah. The main ATEM has the 3 overhead cameras and the front-facing Blackmagic.
Not enough.
Which is, we're already out of cameras. So I guess first thing we're going to take out one of them, the front-facing Blackmagic, which is 3. So this one, and we're going to swap that for the HDMI cable for the streaming bridge. I think it's this one. So that is going to go. This is a nice little stack of gear back here too.
Oh, this idea of the stand is from David Joshua.
Oh yes. Okay, so the streaming bridge HDMI goes into HDMI 3 up here. Oops. And now that's plugged in. We obviously don't see anything because there's no data coming in on that. So we're going to now, oops, there we go. We're going to now set up the streaming bridge. So that's the part that we haven't done anything with yet, is the networking for that. So on this computer, I don't have a way to share the screen in, but the way the streaming bridge works is it receives the feed from the ATEM Mini Pro or ISO or Extreme ISO or Extreme, yeah, any of the ones with the streaming built in. And we need to do 2 things. So everything is already on the network, right? So you've got a little travel router in this case. And then that is on, it's connected to the Wi-Fi of your house, right? Is that the idea? Okay. And then the other ATEM is connected to a little switch here that is also on the main network.
Yes.
So you've got the networking stuff set up. The big question is whether the networking stuff is always the most complicated stuff, I feel like, because it's just so inscrutable. The thing we're gonna have to test, which we did not do ahead of time, is whether this ATEM Mini in the portable rig, can actually see the streaming bridge IP address, because hopefully the networks are set up correctly. And that's not going to work outside of the house, because you need to do a lot more stuff with port forwarding and stuff. But we don't care about outside the house. You just want to be able to use it around the area here, right?
For now.
For now. Yep. When you're outside the house with the rig, you can stream from the YoloBox. And that, as long as it has an internet connection, it can go. Yeah. So the travel router, if it's on the Wi-Fi of the house, then it's sort of like inside of it. If that makes sense. It's like sitting inside the network already. Yeah. So anything that's on the network in your house should be accessible from the stuff that's in the streaming bridge. I don't have a way to diagram.
Do you need the pen?
Yeah, in a chalkboard.
Oh,
But we do have plenty of overhead cameras.
yeah.
Oh, you know, that's actually something we should have done was connected one of the HDMI outs into my stream.
Yeah, which is...
Do we have any extra cables? I guess I can take the cable out of my camera.
Yeah, going from here.
Yep, from the ATEM.
Yeah,
So we lose
you
the TV,
can.
but we can do that.
Yeah,
So let's actually connect that in so I can show you one of the overheads.
I probably just have to grab
have any
a
paper?
yeah.
Okay, well, we'll grab some paper and come back, and I'm going to connect the ATEM out. I don't see a spare splitter here, so we lose our own monitor a bit, but that's okay. And now I can actually show you on the stream. Let's sync up. Oh, come on. I saw the picture there a second ago. Come on. Going out from the ATEM, HDMI out, into the YoloBox Pro that is running this stream. Okay, there it is. I see the picture. And, oh, it went black. Come on. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's try the other port. And paper. Great. Oh, it's so shiny.
No, it's okay.
Okay, now I can draw on that. I don't know why my YoloBox is not cooperating with the... Oh, maybe the ATEM is on the wrong frame rate. Let's try that. So that could be that it's not cooperating because of that.
Because you put it 25, I think.
This ATEM is in 24 frames a second. And let's just change it to 29.97 and see if the YoloBox likes it. Might have to unplug and plug it back in.
Which one did you connect? The top?
I'm just trying to get
Or the
this
sound?
ATEM output.
Ah, okay.
I want to see this ATEM's output in the YoloBox.
Yeah.
There it is. Is it going to stick? Yes, it is.
Yes.
So now you can see the actual output of the ATEM, which is set to the multi-view right now. And if I switch over to input 4, that is the top-down camera. So I can draw on some paper now. So what I wanted to
Maybe
it's upside down.
Maybe this one is better. This top
Maybe that
one.
one's better. Okay, let's try that. Oh, I was just going to draw on the stool.
Ah,
That's easier. This is very heavy. The stool. There we go. Camera 2. So what I wanted to do is a little network diagram here. Let me see. We've got the house. We've got the house and the shed. So let's draw the house over on the right here. And in the house is the main like house router. So that's the house router for the internet. Internet. Cool. We don't care about how that works. We're just going to assume that works. What we do care about is what is connected to that. So there's a very long cable you've already run, right?
yeah.
And the cable connects to that network switch in the shed. So, okay, we're going to do a long cable, and then here is a network switch. So far there's no, there's only one network here. This is the main house router is providing one network. The switch lets us connect multiple things into that network. And I see a couple things plugged in. One is the ATEM, ATEM Mini Pro ISO. So ATEM ISO connected into the switch. What else is connected? The streaming bridge. Streaming bridge. connected into that switch. What else do we connect? There's one more thing connected. Is it
Maybe.
the
Oh, that's the wire coming from the house.
yeah, the house wire,
Yeah.
the ATEM, the streaming bridge, and there's a fourth one. Oh, it's my YoloBox. What is going on with the edges of the paper, pen, and your hands? Oh, it's the camera is actually showing us the focus peaking. We didn't.
Ah.
We need to change that. That's a setting on the camera. So let's go do that. I'm guessing we're gonna see the menu on the screen here. Oops. So there's a setting on the camera, whether you want to show the focus peaking, which is showing up. Highlight, where is it? Lumix G7s. I only do this once for my cameras, and then I forget where it is ever again. Don't care about sound. Must be in the gear. Menu. No, where is it? Gosh. Is it on the TV connection page? Aha! HDMI info display. Off. Okay. Now.
Thanks, Aaron.
You know what we should do is do that to all the cameras. This is actually a good checklist we should make, is camera settings for the G7s.
Yeah.
Let's do that. G7 settings. So that was.
You did the other two already.
I don't know if I changed that setting on the others.
Okay.
Oh, we
You
decommissioned
changed it,
one.
like from the
Where is that other camera? So we can the other G7.
this one, which is glitching.
But it's this one was glitching, which is no good. Do you have any batteries for this? I just wanted to play with the menu. Which drawer are the batteries hidden in?
I'm good in hiding. Let me check if it's here.
These look like kitchen drawers, but they're actually full of camera equipment.
Oh gosh. And chocolates.
And chocolates.
Sorry.
Oh, I see one. Is it charged? Is that the right one?
Are you sure? Which one? Where did you see it? I usually charge them.
Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. Let's see if that is charged. Yes, it is. Okay. I just wanted to be able to show the menus. So we were in the gear, TV connection, and then HDMI info display. So let's write that down. Gear,
Info display.
TV connection,
TV connection.
and then HDMI info display off.
This is for idiot-proofing Mother Bee.
I mean, I would benefit from this list too, because I do this once and then I forget what I've done. And when I get a new camera, I'm like, what's my list of things I need to do to set up the camera? And I never remember it. So there we go. That's number one. And that way we don't get the focus peaking or menus and stuff on the screen. And then what else did we have? We had, actually, this will be another one to change, is getting rid of that
Oh, yeah.
Because it's got the eye sensor, so when your face is up to it, then it turns off the screen, and that's why we can't see that menu right now. Because it thinks there's an eye close enough to the viewfinder, because it's up by the ceiling. That one is somewhere in here. Where is that setting? I remember seeing it.
There's something that I pressed before.
Yeah, there's a shortcut for it, but there's a way to just like turn it entirely
settings
off. Let's see if anybody tells us.
Google it.
Or Google it. What a good idea.
What's that called?
It's called, I think it's called eye sensor or eye. Something about the eye.
Turn off.
Live, it could be also called live viewfinder or something.
Here, custom setup menu page.
That's the one. Custom eye sensor. Okay, so yeah, that's what we want. Custom setup menu page 7.8 eye sensor, then live LVF monitor auto. Custom, so 7.8 eye sensor, there it is. LVF monitor switch.
Off.
There's no off. There's auto or LVF or monitor. Oh, now it's only on the eye. Now it's only here. Can you see it? There it is in there. So we want it to be on monitor.
This one shows the monitor.
Okay, this is the setting now. So how do we get to that? That was custom, so gear, custom gear. What do I call it? That's a terrible name. It's a gear with the C next to it. Custom gear. Eye sensor. This is page 8. Page 8, 9. LVF monitor. LVF monitor. My handwriting is really bad.
Still readable.
Readable is good. And then we want that to be set to monitor now. For some reason it's not off, just monitor. And then that should
not on and off.
Now it doesn't.
Okay.
Now it doesn't turn off when we do that. Okay. So now we need to do it to this one. Can we get that down from the tripod somehow safely?
I need to...
Oh wait, no, I see it. I think I can do it.
Okay.
Just this one.
Yeah, it's just
And
unscrewing
then
and then down.
It's over here, and now hopefully, yeah, I can see it in the viewfinder. So we are going to go through the menu, HDMI info display. Let's turn that on so we can navigate it this way. Really quick. There we go. That's easier to see. So back to menu, custom gear, page 8, 9, eye sensor, monitor. Aha! Now I can see it on the... Now I can see it again on the screen. So we can put this camera back up here. And now we can turn off the HDMI info display again. So let's do this one more time. There's the, you can see all the overlays, and now we should be able to go. So this looks crooked. How did this turn? Is it
in here? Feel like you have to.
No, it's like tilted.
I'm not as tall as you, so.
Do you see the direction it's tilted? It's like slanted this way.
Wait, I forgot my own gear. How I... That?
I guess that's good enough. Okay. So menu button is up here. There. Then we go to the gear, to the TV connection, HDMI info display off, and that's great. Now you get a clean picture, and I can still see the menu on here, which is good. Okay, so far we're down to two. We've got 2 settings. Whenever we think of more settings to change, we're going to write them down on this list.
Yeah.
So back to networks. Let's turn that one off.
Well, at least you have that to guide you.
Yes, exactly. So a little diversion on the camera settings, but now we've got the nice clearer picture here. So this is one network. This is basically what we've got in the room here. And then separately, you've got the little case. And the little flight case has its own network. So in here is the, what is it, the barrel? Is that right? That's not right?
What, which one?
This?
GLINet.
GLINet, I can't remember which model it is. We'll call it GLINet. And that is the travel router. And it connects to the house Wi-Fi, right? So we've got a little antenna sticking out, and it goes Wi-Fi to the house router. Right? Or is there a network jack plugged in? But there's no more network jacks plugged in over here.
Not true. Because from the house, I put it in the... Yeah.
Okay. So that means...
Although you could... There's a place there that you could plug it in.
There is a place to plug this in. Yep. Yep. Oh, yeah, I see the purple wire. So this is all to say that inside the case, now you have YoloBox and the ATEM Mini.
And the...
Raspberry Pi?
Raspberry. That's supposed to be for this, what's this one? A stream deck, which I fried. Don't do this.
How did you fry it?
I plug it because I have a 12-volt battery there. I got confused. I was supposed to plug it into the Raspberry to power it, but I forgot that that's how it is, and I plug it to one of the
Oops.
USB-C off directly to the 12 volts.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Which I did not tell my husband.
Oh, no. Hopefully he's not watching this.
Later, he managed the page.
Okay.
It's 500 something.
Yeah, it's very expensive. The big one's very expensive. So, this is the network diagram of the studio. And what I wanted to talk about was how we talk about network addresses, which is a little bit confusing. So the house router, if I go look at this computer, which is on the house network, and if we look at the network preferences on the computer, the IP address of the computer, oh yeah, I guess that's also just, there's just a computer sitting over here on the Wi-Fi. So this is the
Actually, we could connect
laptop.
an HDMI to share that.
It's okay.
Ah, okay.
So the laptop IP address is 192.168.1.47. Okay, does that make sense? I'm not surprised. What is, and if we go look at the advanced settings on it, that tells us the router address is 192.168.1.1. So here is, I'm going to write that down, 192.168.1.1. Oh gosh, I just smudged all of that because the paper's too shiny.
Because that's supposed to be for my books.
Oops.
I don't have an ordinary one.
I don't have a better pen. Okay, I'll try not to touch that again.
No,
Is that ballpoint also?
Yeah, maybe this one is better.
Let's try. Yeah, that might not. Okay, we'll give that a shot. So, if we look at the other devices on this network, they're going to have addresses that are similar. So if we go look, for example, at the ATEM streaming bridge is set to DHCP over here. I can't show you the computer screen, but, oh wait, yes I can. It's on the overhead camera. There it is. It's upside down though, and out of focus, but I can gesture in this general direction. The ATEM streaming bridge config, we can see the IP address on here, right? And the IP address of the streaming bridge, this is in the ATEM setup program. Because it's on the network, we can see the address, and it is, the address is 192.168.1.99. We need to write this one down. This is important. 192.168.1.99. Now, I also want to say that most of the time Blackmagic tries to do things where you don't need to know these numbers. So like, when you load up the ATEM software control, it's going to just sort of find the ATEM on the network. And that's also true with the streaming bridge. We've got the streaming bridge. If we just load up ATEM setup, it's like, oh, cool, here's the streaming bridge. And oh, look, here's the ATEM Mini Pro. That's great. And we can change settings and stuff. The ATEM Mini has the IP address 192.168.1.100. So 192.168.1.100. So do you see something in common with all the addresses, right? It's 192.168.1. That's what they all share. So that's the network that they're on. And same with the laptop. My very smudged handwriting. So most of the time you don't need to know this, except if you want to stream to this from something that's not on that network directly, because then it can't find it. This stuff down here is not directly on this network because it's behind another router. And that's the missing piece here. So this router has an address that is going to look like these addresses, but these are going to have totally different addresses. And that's the part that's going to require a little bit of extra config. So if we look at, let's move on to this inner network and write down the IP addresses of everything here. So we're going to move the computer to the other Wi-Fi network, connect to the travel router. We lose the connection to the ATEM. And then if we look at the computer's network, we've got a new IP address, 192.168.8. So do you see how that is different here? So here, this group is 192.168.8.x. So everything inside this network is going to be .8 something. So the router address is 192.168.8.1. So these are going to be what? 192.168.8. something. So if we go back into the ATEM setup, it found the other ATEM Mini, the Pro, and it's 8.165.
Oh, because it's connected on the GI.
Because it's behind the GLI net. The YoloBox is going to have another address that's similar to that. And we can actually just look at the YoloBox. Oh, let's not worry about it. We don't actually care about it. What we do care about is getting this thing to stream to that thing. And if they were on the same network, if they had the same first three, then it would just sort of magically work. But they're not, so it doesn't magically work. So we do need to do a little bit of setup on the computer to make that work. For this one, now I kind of do want to show the computer screen in here because I actually have the cable for that.
Ah, okay.
I have a cable in my cable bag. So we can go, and let's see if it's long enough. We're going to go into the YoloBox, and
We could actually use this table to have a bigger.
then we have an
space.
actual surface. Okay,
Yeah.
let's do that.
Right.
Here comes some noise.
It's heavy.
Let's see if I can grab that. Okay. And now that's there. There's that. Oops. And
Okay.
there's that. And now we can do, where did that cable go? Is this long enough? Yes. Swap those.
Yeah.
Okay. And then let's mirror the display so you can see it. Mirror. And now I can show you the screen. So let's go make a picture-in-picture on the YoloBox with the computer, and this one, and yeah. So, the streaming bridge. So we wanted to go from the ATEM to the streaming bridge. I need to actually go back over to the other Wi-Fi to configure the streaming bridge. We don't want to sign in Google. We're going to set up the streaming bridge, because what you do in here is you can create the config for the other ATEM. So the other ATEM, we need to give it settings, right? We need to give the settings to this ATEM so it knows where to find the streaming bridge. This server thing is like the magic that makes it work if it's all on the same network, which we can't do because it's not all on the same network. So we have to modify the setting, and this is where it's a little messy. So this is set up to allow streaming from the local network without a key, which is fine because you're all within the same network. So we're going to keep it that way. And then we're going to go and export this config, save ATEM settings, in the desktop, and save that XML. And now we have to edit the XML. So if I open this in a text editor, then we've got, oh, I should make this a lot bigger. Okay. This is the magic line, this RTMP line. This address means it's going to try to find it on the local network, which we're not going to be able to do because we're crossing two networks. Now it all comes together. We're going to type in 192.168.1.99, which is the streaming bridge address. Save that. That's on the desktop. We're good. Now we need to go back to the other network, the travel case, and give the ATEM that config. So back to the GL inet, go into the ATEM software control, and load in the streaming settings. So out stream, load streaming settings, load it from the desktop, import, and now over here in platform, we should see MB streaming bridge. And that's got the IP address. And hopefully this works now. So, how confident are we? Let's go to the ATEM's output, go to the multi-view. We plugged it into 3, right? So hopefully if I hit on air on this one, it should show up. And we're showing the, what, the GoPro? So let's try it. Test it. On air. It's blinking. So that's not working. Let's figure out why.
Maybe the frame rate?
Interesting question. Is it the frame rate? I don't think it errors out that way when the frame rate is wrong. I think it's different. I think what might be happening is it may not think it's on the local network, and maybe we might need to change it back to change it to allow streaming from the internet with a streaming key. So let's try that. So if we go back, oh my gosh, why does Google keep wanting to sign in? So we go to the streaming bridge here, go change it to allow streaming from the internet. Here's a key. Port forward error is fine because we don't actually want to stream from the real internet. And then, oh look, it's got the server now as 192.168.1.99, which is good. Let's not push our limits with the HyperDeck High. Let's just go to regular streaming high and save that. Replace that. Now that has the IP address and the streaming key in it. We'll hit save. Go back to the other ATEM. And clear, remove streaming settings, load streaming settings. I copied the key, so let's paste it in here. Streaming high, and now let's try it again. Here we go. We're gonna go on air. Cross your fingers. Still no. That means that my understanding of the network might be wrong. So let's go, you know what we haven't looked at is the actual router. I want to check out what, because I haven't actually looked at the web interface of the travel router itself. So let's go do that. So that's 192.168.8.1. Okay, there is a router there. Do you know the password? Is it the default?
Which one? Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Nope. For the admin password for the travel router.
Let me check. But you managed to log on earlier, right?
No, I've connected to the Wi-Fi, but I haven't actually opened up the interface. Definitely tricky. GL iNet is up next. Ping it is another good suggestion. So let's. We can try that while you're looking up the password. So the we should, since I'm on.
Johnny, what was the password for the GLINet? The travel router.
Can you just set up the router with the bridge as an access point? It is. So the router.
No, the
default. It might be the same password as the.
Our Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So the travel router is like mostly set up as the default thing. You know, it's got the same IP address. It is a router, so it is connected to something, which is what I'm trying to figure out what's connected to. And the that's what this computer is connected to. That's what the inside the ATEM on the inside of this is connected to. On this one is plugged in with a wire to that router. This is the leg I didn't actually confirm, is what is this actually connected to. We should be able to get to that from the inside of here, but that's what I can ping right now. Oh, okay. We have a password to try. Is that a
exclamation at?
Mm-hmm. I can't read the third to the last number. Aha. Nope. Nope. It's the admin password, not the Wi-Fi password. You know, and I think they stopped setting default passwords on these too. We could just reset it, but I don't want to delete all the configuration. Anyway, what I can try to do right now is ping it, because that's what we can also check. We should be able to ping 192.168.1.99, which is the steering bridge. And that says nope. So we may not be on the 192.168.1 network at all. Or the other option is the house Wi-Fi router is not allowing clients to talk to each other, which would be really sad. That's the other option here.
I can't find it. I know because I asked my daughter's boyfriend to set that up, but he can't remember.
So we could reset it. It's not that hard. We just hold down the button for 10 seconds and it'll reset to all the defaults. It just does mean that we lose the Wi-Fi password on it, and we just have to reset the Wi-Fi password.
It's the same, the one that I...
Oh, okay. Let's do that since we are clearly stuck here. So, where's that little button? There it is. 10 seconds. Oh, it's fine. It's a little button. We don't need a pin. And then we wait for this to reboot. Okay. We are doing the reset. I see it booting up. Let's see. We should get kicked off the Wi-Fi in a minute. Yeah, I lost the Wi-Fi connection, and now it's showing us the defaults. This is, oh my god, Google. Other networks, it probably reset the name also. Come on. Come on. Is it still thinking about what it's done? We should see the GL pop up here. Come on. While we're here, now that I'm on the main network, let's see if we can ping the streaming bridge from here. No, so that might be what's going on, is we've separated the ability for clients to talk to each other on the network over ping. So
I managed to connect the streaming bridge in the Pro before, but that was, I don't have the router yet that time.
okay, I saw it. There it is. GL iNet 24 should be. Oh, it didn't prompt us for the password, so we didn't actually reset it. We just, oh, there it is. Yeah, it did reset. Weird. So, setup. This is the password step that we have to set the admin password. I'm just going to set it to the default Good Life that's printed on the sticker, because we can always change that later. That's Good Life is not allowed in the password. They really want you to make sure you set a real password. Okay. Okay, we're going to set it to... You had it on a paper, right? Where's that piece of paper? That is what we're going to set it to. Great. Now we're in. So this is what I wanted to do. We need to say, set it up as a repeater. It's going to connect to the house Wi-Fi. Not the Hollyland. Other. And remember that password. Join. Hopefully this works. Come on. This is the most exciting thing. I told you the networking stuff is the worst part.
It's the last piece of the puzzle.
Yep. It's the most complicated. It's the least understandable. And, frankly, least interesting.
I imported you all the way from...
What are you thinking about? Little router. Maybe I typed in the wrong. I might have typed something wrong.
The password?
I think I remember the password. Oh, I could have typed the channel in wrong. Because I maybe just let's try this again. I have no idea what channel it was, and I just left it as the default. One more time. While this is going, go Web Technology says give a static IP to the extender on the home router. That, interestingly, is not actually the problem. The reason is because we don't care what IP address this has on the house side. All we just need to know that it is on the house network. I don't care what its 1.x address is, because I never need to go into the case. If we ever wanted to stream stuff into the case, we would have to do like port forwarding and stuff on this, and then we would need to know about this address, but we're not going into the case, we're only going out of the case. So I don't care what the address is on the house network. I just care that this is on the house network, so that I can go from the .8 network to the .1 network over here. That's what's going on. Where did the GL network go? Google really wants you to log into Chrome. Okay, back to the... Here we go. Now it is set up to extend, and oh, the GoPro ran out of batteries. Oh, it was plugged in.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. This is what I want to confirm, is that this does in fact have an address on the house network. Now that this is set up, I'm going to try pinging again the streaming bridge. There it is. Now it's working, which means if I go to the ATEM software control and push to this, then, does it work? And look at the multi-view. It's not blinking. This is... Oh yeah, look at that. It's working. Check it out. Oh, we got a buffering now. Cache is full. Okay, this is progress. So, check this out. Back to the computer screen. Or let me get rid of my face. It is on the air, but the cache is full. But we did see the picture for a second, because check out the multi-view. The GoPro image is appearing and disappearing there. I think that just means that there's not enough bandwidth. So I can change, let's try streaming low, and just try pushing that. It showed for a second. There it is. And come on. There it is. Here's the picture. This is good. This is definitely progress. And then it gets a little bit, and then it fills up the cache. So I think what's happening is we just don't have enough bandwidth on the network connection.
Say hi to my followers.
Oh, hi. We're also live on
YouTube.
Yeah, come check out my channel if you're watching this on Mother Bee's Instagram or wherever this is being posted.
In Facebook.
Oh, Facebook. I am Aaron Parecki. We are live on youtube.com/AaronPK. So, yeah, the good news is we've solved the first problem. The first problem being the network diagram didn't do what I thought it was doing, and that is not a problem anymore. So
It's there now.
Now that it is set up this way, it's doing what I thought it was going to do. So for some reason before, the router was connected to something else. I don't know if it was connected to a different internet or like different Wi-Fi or somehow, I don't know what was going on, but I reset it, connected it to the house internet, the house router over Wi-Fi, and now this is able to get out of the box over Wi-Fi to the house and into the streaming bridge. So the problem that we're having now is that this link is not strong enough. There's not enough signal on, there's not enough bandwidth to actually push the video feed over Wi-Fi. Because all the stuff in this studio is wired in, but this box is not. So I suspect that if you were to use this inside the house right now, it would be fine. Because we're kind of far away from the router, and I can tell on the computer the signal is not very strong. So I think if this were inside the house, actually it would work totally fine. And the way it's set up right now is if you press, let's go back to
test it.
the multi-view.
I could bring that.
We could, yeah. We can. It's running on the battery right now, so it should be able to be picked up.
It's just connected on the screen.
A bunch of cables are connected, so let's try it. Let's. Oh wait, before you do that, let me do one thing. I want to make sure that if this gets powered down, all the settings are saved.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is go to the what side am I on? I'm on this. I've got the streaming bridge config and the streaming key set up. So we're going to go to File, Save Startup State. And this means everything about that is now how it's going to turn back on. So if this gets turned off when you move it, it'll boot back up and be ready to go. So in theory, when you take this into the house, you should be able to just hit on air.
Okay.
And that's it.
And I'll
And
probably
then
just show.
You'll see it.
The Mevo.
You'll see it. Oh yeah, show the Mevo since we don't have the Hollyland. So we'll see the Mevo camera plugged in. And let's save the startup state again. And then you'll see the on air on the in that little box. Oh yeah, that's a lot of rain. Okay. Should we give it a shot?
We'll try to make it
Let's get this bench
out of the way.
out of the way and that dangerous cable out of the way.
Which cable do I have to unplug?
Everything, I guess.
that. And let me trace this one.
Where are the cables labeled, and can we get them back later?
Yeah.
What is this one connected to?
That's just I think, yeah, that one.
Okay. Is it free?
Yeah.
Great. And then, oh, what
So-
happened here? Oh, right.
Yeah. So that's,
Oh, because the loop got disconnected. The little the out from the ATEM into the YoloBox got
Yeah.
disconnected. Can you plug that one back in on the back? It should
The
be that little
out.
short cable. It was
this
the-
one.
Yeah,
Going to-
out from the ATEM
Oh, no.
into the YoloBox.
Oh, true. Sorry.
Yeah.
Out from the ATEM, going to YOLO.
Going into the YoloBox.
Oh,
There's
that-
just so that we can see it on the screen here, and then we
Okay.
lost a camera.
This.
We need a camera plugged into the ATEMs. Oh, they were all wireless cameras. That's what it was.
Yeah.
We don't have any HDMI cameras on this rig. Is the GoPro still plugged in?
Yes.
Well, you have to use that one then.
Uh,
So, what is that one? There it is.
So, will you
Do we see it? Okay, I see Hollyland there connecting, which oh,
This
it's
is
just
done.
it's just waiting.
Yeah.
Wait, it says no video.
Huh.
The GoPro looks on.
There. It's just a bit slow.
Is there a spare hardwire in the shed to test if there's a bandwidth problem before moving into the house? We could do that. But it's gonna be more fun to just do it from the house. Okay, I see it.
I'm sure the rain is not that heavy. So I'll bring the camera first.
Bring the camera. Oh, that got disconnected again.
I think it's because of my
Is something
contraption
loose?
here.
No, now it says no video. I think it's the HDMI coming out of the GoPro.
This one?
Weird. That one. There it goes. 640, 480. Whoa, I haven't seen that before. The GoPro is sending 640 by 480. Interesting. Oh my gosh, the rain. You can hear it a lot.
Come on.
Come on. Okay, there it is. And I see it.
I move it.
You have an umbrella?
It's okay. Are you
Oh my gosh, that's so much rain.
Yeah.
We need an umbrella.
I don't have any.
No umbrellas? Okay, well, maybe we go back to the hardwire test. So, let's do that. Do we have another Ethernet cable?
Yes. It's
And if the rain stops, we'll try the wireless test.
where did I put it earlier? We have that earlier.
Yeah, I remember.
Gosh, me.
I remember that whole bag. It was somewhere. There's a whole bag of them. Hardwire test. Don't risk the camera. Frankenrig. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, here.
There it is.
Just
All right.
facing me.
So what we're going to do is we're going to plug the internet connection of the GL iNet router into the into the switch. There's thankfully one port left on this network switch. So we're going to hardwire this rig in, and the network diagram should still be the same. It'll just be a hardwire instead of Wi-Fi connection. But as far as the IP addresses and everything, it's all the same. So that's plugged in, and now we go back to... Oh, Willie says, just saw your stream, and I'm not half asleep. Yeah. Daytime and no rain here. Ooh, no rain in Wellington. Nice.
Yeah, but it's just Auckland sometimes.
Okay, so let's go to the web interface of this and switch. Oh, I found the cable. Yeah, good. Cable, and it should be prioritizing that, so let's just give it a go. I'm going to go back to, let's see, back to, oh, you know what I can do is make a new picture-in-picture for this. Thanks, YoloBox. Side by side, we're going to do computer on one side and HDMI on the other. And we're going to give it my background. And now we can do this. So we can see the computer screen on one side, which has got the ATEMs set up, and the multi-view of the studio's ATEM on the other side. So when I press on air on the ATEM, we're going to see it go on air on the computer, and then hopefully the picture shows up in slot 3. Hopefully. Is it filling up the cache? Where is it? Oh, it is. The other ATEM has no video on input 3.
What's on the number 3?
Oh, we lost the GoPro again. Gosh.
Okay.
That's annoying.
Maybe we change it to my phone.
Yeah, we just need a video signal going into this other ATEM.
There now.
It just keeps going back and forth.
Because it's not properly rigged.
Okay, so that little Hollyland on input 3, that's the streaming bridge receiver. You can see it there. It's very small. But because we lost the multi-view here because we're sending it to the YoloBox. Oh. But yeah, so there it is. That's the GoPro picture. And, oh, and it dropped again. And the Hollyland link dropped. Yeah, it's just, the HDMI connection from the GoPro to this is not working well. It could be. But the good news is the wireless link is working great. And we can actually show that because we can actually go, do you have any media? No. What can I show on here instead?
The Mevo footage?
We disconnected that from here. So that was HDMI 2.
Which
right? One? Yep. Okay. So HDMI 2 on the ATEM is the YoloBox output. So if we go to the USB camera there, go like that. Aha! Okay. Side by side. So the little USB Mevo camera up there is connected to the YoloBox on this rig. The YoloBox output goes into the ATEM input 2, and you're seeing the program output of that through the streaming bridge. So it is in fact working. And
congrats, Aaron.
if we go, what is that? 3 on this ATEM, so I can go full screen here. This is, you're looking at the audio is way out of sync because of the streaming bridge delay, but whatever. This is the YoloBox output. This is the mobile rig going through the ATEM. The ATEM is pushing to the streaming bridge over the network, and you're seeing it in my split view here. So let's unroll that back to the multi-view. And back to the YoloBox. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so let's go back to the diagram and just, again, go through this one more time. This is doing what we wanted it to do. The ATEM Mini in the box, in the case, is connected to the travel router. The travel router now has a good internet connection with a cable. The cable is plugged into that switch. And if you plug that cable into the house router, like inside the house, it'll be great.
Yeah.
It'll be super solid. Totally great. And if you're on the Wi-Fi in the house, I have a feeling it'll work fine, just because the signal is really weak out here, but the signal inside the house should be a lot better, and it'll probably work. The one thing, the setting here that is worth noting again is you have the quality setting. So when you're streaming from the streaming bridge, you can change between streaming low, streaming high, right? And that chooses how much bandwidth it uses. So we're wired, so we can probably do streaming high right now, and it'll work fine. Let's try that. There's the multi-view. So if I hit on air with HyperDeck high, we're getting that came up really quick, and it seems pretty solid. You can go full screen so you can see it. Coming on input 3. Oh, maybe not solid. I see some choppy. Yep, cache filled up. Okay, so we can't handle HyperDeck high. I'm not surprised. There's not a lot of reason to do that. What I would recommend is streaming high most of the time. If you can handle it. If you need to drop down to streaming low because you're on bad Wi-Fi, then drop down. But streaming high should be reasonable. Let's try that and see if the cache fills up.
We're already on fiber.
Oh, but this isn't even going out of the internet, so it doesn't matter. Right, that's the thing, is we're only on the internal network. So 6 megabits is doing just fine, which is what I would expect. Yeah. Cool. Okay, that's good. That is progress. You can go from this mobile rig to the streaming bridge, which right now we had to unplug one of the cameras to fit in there, but maybe eventually you get an ATEM Extreme with 8 inputs. Okay, one problem solved. It's only been an hour. But that's good. That's really good. If the rain stops, we can go try a house test, but we don't want to take this out in the rain. Next.
Should be waterproof.
Waterproofing that is a whole different problem. Okay, next up. We should probably make sure sound works.
Yeah.
Right? So we'll get the Rodecaster Pro connected.
In your...
Into here?
It's already connected.
Yeah, we just haven't listened to it, so we should listen to it and make sure it's all good. Oh, do you have headphones?
Yes.
Oh, look at that.
I just bought it.
So prepared.
This is the new one.
Great. Oh, Rode's headphones too. Hello? Hello. Nothing. Hello. Cool. So, we just need to figure out why. First of all, are the headphones plugged in?
It's in number 2.
Number 2?
Yeah, not properly pushed.
Okay. So, this is also the first time I've ever used a Rodecaster Pro. I have not touched one of these before, so we'll see how this goes. We don't need that there. I can see levels. Why can't I hear anything? Aha, because this end it wasn't plugged in.
And so, you actually have to
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. So this one was a little bit loose. Yeah. I can feel.
There.
Woo! There it goes.
Yeah. This one.
Now that it's actually plugged in all the way. Oh, it goes in
And
It
then
goes in and then it turns to latch. And now it won't fall out.
You're the first one to use that.
Okay. I've never used this before, so
No, it's
yeah,
here.
check it out.
I just bought it.
There's a little, you can see the little notch. So we've got, it goes in and then it turns to latch in place. The reason there was feedback was because the headphones are right next to this microphone. So it was getting feedback from itself. That was loud. But now, if I, yeah. Cool. Oh gosh. People, do we have any mods online right now? Can you hand me my computer? Somebody just go ban that.
What?
We've been live for long enough that the spammers have come out. I have to get let my computer catch up.
Put here. And
We'll just try to not cook it.
no, you need a cable.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Connect. I don't know if the YoloBox shows the comments just disappearing when someone mods them. Nope. Okay. Hide user on the channel. And are they gone? Yes. So yeah, the headphones are in fact connected now, so I can hear the I can hear myself as I'm talking. Hello, hello, hello. There's a compressor, very strong compressor connected to this. I can hear it.
Because if you remove this,
Oh no, it's fine.
because I don't know.
No, I think it's on the Rodecaster. What I want to do though is I want to get this wired into the stream so we can have people hear it on the stream also. Which means audio from, oh, I've already got the ATEM connected in here. So if I get the audio routed from the YoloBox input to, you should hear it on the stream.
I'll try to watch your video and listen in my AirPods.
Okay. What we're going to do is switch the YoloBox audio to over to the
Is that from the ATEM already?
not yet.
Ah.
As soon as I do this, it will be. Okay, so you should be hearing the audio from the Rodecaster now.
It's bad.
You can hear it. Can you hear it? Is it super compressed? Is that what's going on?
No, it's the sound.
Hello?
The floor noise. Sorry.
Hello? Hello, hello, 1, 2. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, that's what I was hearing the headphones. Yeah. Okay, so time to mess with Rodecaster settings. I want to get a camera on that. I want to get a camera so we can actually see that. How can I do that? Is this one easy to move?
Which one? This one? Or the mic?
Okay. I can do this.
Yeah.
Oh, the cables may not be long enough. No, that's too tight. Okay, let's do one of these wireless ones instead.
Maybe this.
Do this while we do this. Oh my God, the
Don't break
spammers.
your laptop.
They just keep coming back. Let's get this one since we have it. Oh wait,
With the
no, that was
sound,
freaking out.
yeah.
Let's
We
do
could remove,
that
into one of the.
into this camera.
No, we could.
Oh yeah. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this Hollyland off. of this and put it onto my camera.
Yeah, because it has battery, right?
Yep. And then we're going to go from...
Oh no.
We're going to use the streaming bridge we just did.
It's,
I need an HDMI cable now, a very short one.
oh, mini.
Regular size, but very short. Oh wait, there's probably one back here.
Yeah, might be. I
I
probably
see
have
one.
dropped, yeah.
That'll work. Okay. Then power
Wait,
this
it's
on.
It's not on.
Oh, did this battery die?
Maybe.
I think it did.
We could. We have a wire one.
Do you want another battery?
It's down here.
It's warm. Cool. Let's see if this works. Yeah. And find the video. No video. Come on. There we go. And sure enough, it's over there, which means it's over here. No. Which camera is that? Streaming bridge.
Yeah.
Where's the streaming bridge connected to? 1, 2, 3. Camera 3. Oh, why is it dropping out? Why did it drop out? 1, 2. Is this not plugged into anything?
Which one?
The receiver. No.
It's.
Oh, okay, there it is. 1. I think I'm just looking at the wrong thing. Yes, I'm just not. I just got confused. Okay, we're good. HDMI 1 is my wireless camera connected to the streaming bridge. Oh, got a little bit of a little bit choppy. It's definitely a little bit choppy. So let's maybe drop down the bitrate to streaming low, on air. In fact, you know what I'm going to do is go back and just make sure that we're not on the Wi-Fi at all. Stay on the cable.
Close the.
You'll find it again in a second. ATEM. Oh. GLINet. Oh my god. Google.
Oh, that's just the Mevo.
Okay. GLINet restart. Everything's good. We're on the wire. And hopefully the cache doesn't fill up. So what I wanted to do, the real purpose of this, now we can full screen on this, was looking at the Rodecaster. That was the whole point of this.
Do you want me to hold the camera?
Sure. Can you hold it like that so we can look at the screen?
Yeah.
So, we're going to switch the audio back to the Rodecaster. It's going to be bad audio. The there's a lot of noise floor, and that's what I want to look at here. Again, I've never used this before, so apologies in advance, but I'm assuming there's some heavy processing going on. So we've got channel 1, channel 2, but we're connected into channel 1 here, and the processing, I'm assuming, is doing a lot. So where's my headphones? Yes, I can hear a lot of noise, and let's point the microphone at my face a little better. I hear a lot of noise when I'm not talking, which sounds like a compressor to me, and sure enough. So if I turn that off, it's still doing something. So what else do we have? We've got noise gate. That's on. Let's just turn it all off. Aha! Now I hear room noise, but I also hear, I don't hear the same loudness. GoWeb Technology says there's a preset for Rode mics in there. Cool. Microphone. Aha! Is this the Rode NT one?
NTG4 Plus.
NTG4?
Yeah, it's not there.
Oh, it's not in here. So let's choose.
Is it a condenser?
Oh, I don't remember.
Who can say?
Is the NTG4 a condenser or dynamic? Well, I don't hear anything anymore.
You could probably remove it. Next one, because the light is there.
You see the light?
Maybe the setting about is here.
Oh yeah, I hear it now. It's very quiet. In my headphones anyway. That's good. The levels look good. They're bouncing at about the right spot. So I don't hear the loud noise anymore, so let's turn the processor back on. What's it doing? Was it this one? Compressor. Let's just turn it all off. And only turn them on if we need to. The only problem is that check for phantom power. If so, it's a condenser. Yeah, it does seem to want phantom power. So now that we've turned the phantom power on in this, I see the levels, I hear it. It's hard to tell what it sounds like. I guess I can turn the headphones up without hopefully getting feedback. Oh, there we go. Hello. The headphone knob is really sensitive. Interesting. What are you hearing? Do you hear the raindrops? Now we might need some of the audio processing to get rid of some of the background noise. So let's do, if we turn on the compressor, oh, too much. Yikes. And I can hear the case whining a lot. Yeah, this is doing that, upping the loudness of the background noise. So let's get rid of that. What is Aphex? Oh, sounds interesting. I don't know what half these settings do. God, okay.
Curtis.
But I hear it, and I see the levels, and I hear it. Yeah. So some raindrop sounds, mostly fan sounds. Yeah, the fans are from the case. You can definitely hear those. Well, it's working. what else should we do? I guess we can put this back up on the... Okay, you can move that. You can move that camera now. It's really heavy. This is how close the microphone was to my face. This is what you're hearing right now. So, ideally, we want to mount this in the spot that makes more sense. Right now, it's kind of just hanging, and it's not really...
Yeah, there's movement.
Yeah.
I have to buy a proper microphone rig.
You just need something that has a 1/4 inch. Do you have any clamps left?
The one that was holding.
It sounded better at one of the preset mics. I don't understand why it's so hard for me to tell what it sounds like. Oh yeah, that'll work. Where do we want this? We want
or maybe
it like...
even there for now. Like you can put it there because it's already...
Oh yeah. We've already got a little mount for it.
Yeah, just...
This.
Yeah, just release it from... It's one of my MacGyver.
There we go. There we go. It's very good at being directional, though. Oh, that's not going to work. I have to spin the mic around to attach it to that. Let's switch over to the other microphone. I'm going to have to undo this.
Wait. Maybe this one first?
Yeah. And then you can just clamp that on. That's not really great either.
Just here.
Yeah.
Jump it that way.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go.
You have to be resourceful.
Okay. And there's the cable. There we go. Okay. And there we go, back to this. Now it's actually pointed at my face. So if we use one of the presets, it turned the power on, so I can hear it now. This is the Rode NT1 preset, and again, it's hard to tell what it sounds like in these headphones because I'm wearing the headphones.
It sounds good.
It sounds good? Okay. So I mean, you had this already all set up. Like I didn't really do anything except just change the headphone volume and change the dials and press all the buttons once. And it's pointing it in a good spot now instead of pointing at the side of the wall. But the Rodecaster, the way this is wired is the Rodecaster is going into the ATEM, and the Rodecaster output goes into the ATEM's mic input. The ATEM is the ATEM's mic input was already set right. You already had that set up right. I didn't have to change it. We should double check what that is actually set to. So let's go back into the other network. And connect to the ISO. Look at the settings, audio. Yeah, it's at the line input. That's what I was hoping to see. So the Rodecaster sends out a line output signal, which we've gotten to the ATEM, And the volume on the ATEM is... Oh, we have some effects going on here. Oops, we lost it. That's the house Wi-Fi. It's not quite strong enough. And this was not on the network locally. There we go.
I think there's something blocking because even my data is weaker here inside.
Yeah, I mean, we were inside of a shed through a couple walls, so we probably don't need the effects turned on. Let's see how that... Oh, I can't hear that.
Let me check.
Keep the effects in the Rodecaster and not let the don't need the ATEM to do anything else. The delay. Have you done a delay test?
Yes. The 8 frames is the one that's okay with me.
Okay, great, great. Raul says remove the exciter effect. Let's see if that's on now that I've got the preset audio processing. Yeah, it is on. Let's take that off. And we can add a high pass. Less presence after you turned off the ATEM effects. Well, now we've got the exciter off and the ATEM off. Now are we even at the right levels? Now it looks really quiet. I am seeing much lower levels on the ATEM. Maybe we do want to turn that back on. So turn that back on, and that bumped it a little bit. Maybe it was the, you know what? Actually, it was the makeup gain. It was cranked up really high in here. Also, good question. Why is the audio separated in the ATEM? I don't think it needs to be. Let's double check that by... What I want to do is actually listen to what is coming out of the stream. So let's take the headphones out of the Rodecaster. Oh, they're connected into that little... You know what? Just, you can grab my headphones. We'll keep these plugged in, since you've got the nice wiring set up. I can plug my headphones into the YoloBox. I want to hear the... I was only listening to the Rodecaster out, and I want to hear what the ATEM is doing. And this is one of the limits of the ATEM Mini, is that there's no headphone out. So you have to listen out through a monitor. So we're going to go out of the YoloBox. Oh, now I can hear the 8 frames delay. That looks really delayed. Which camera had you tested with to find the 8 frames delay?
I think that one.
Probably one of the ones on the wireless transmitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Which I think is a good reason to not use a wireless transmitter for the main camera.
Okay.
So I like the idea of using this Blackmagic, the one that's right in front of you. Blackmagic output has very, very low latency on the output. I think it's only like 1 or 2 frames that you have to add. So I think that'll help a lot. But we're gonna go change this. So no reason to split it, I think, because the Rodecaster should already be dealing with stereo. Let's turn it down to 1. There we go. And let's compare the sync between the 2 microphones. So, hello. We've got two mics on now. Yeah. There we go. So that was my little clap test method of if you have 2 microphones, one that's like built into the camera and your external connected, and then you clap. If you hear 2 claps, they're out of sync, right? So if you adjust the sync and then do a clap, and then you only hear 1 clap, now you've got the sync right. So for this is obviously not your setup, right? Because I'm listening to my YoloBox output, but like the camera that I'm using, the Sony ZV-1 with the DJI microphone running into the camera, is now synced to the Rodecaster through the ATEM route. So at least I'm now in sync with the video when I look at the, where did it go? When I look at that one. Right, that is camera one. Oh yeah, all the overhead cameras plugged in to the ATEM. So yeah, anyway, oh, we've got 7 dBs of gain here too. Interesting. Hello. That is really quiet coming out of the road. Okay. Comments. Curious what type of connection between the Rodecaster and the ATEM. I believe it's a RCA cables going to the 1/8 inch cable, right? This is it's the RCA to 1/4 inch cable. Oh, those are 1/4 inch. Oh. Yeah, okay. 1/4 inch out. Dual 1/4 inch to 1/8 inch cable going into the ATEM. Stereo 1/8 inch. Question. Using an ATEM and a YOLO is an option. One goal of mine is to see the process of automation take more of the forefront. So the YOLO plus ATEM rig is actually over here, and I think I can show that because I've got this link still up. So this is the rig we were working on before, and this is, you're actually seeing the output of this rig itself right now. My camera is connected to this wireless receiver, which goes into input 1 on this ATEM. This ATEM is streaming to the streaming bridge, which is going to the YoloBox. We're not really using this YoloBox right now. It's just a monitor in this setup, but the idea with this rig is to use, when we're not doing this mode of streaming from the ATEM into the studio, instead, if we wanted to stream from this rig by itself, it's a lot easier to configure where you're streaming to on the actual YoloBox itself. So that's the reason for this setup. HDMI 1 is the ATEM, so what I would do is I would switch to program instead of multi-view, where on the YoloBox we're seeing the multi-view. I switch to program, see the master on the ATEM is ordered. I forgot that I wasn't on the DJI microphone. I'm also way off axis on the microphone over here. Let me switch that back. So yes, anybody who's got their volume turned way up, turn it back down again. Because I'm going to switch over to the DJI microphone so that I can actually just walk around here. That's to you. Turn down your volume now. Okay. Back on the DJI microphones, that way I don't have to worry about where I'm pointing my face. The rig, going back to the here. So the 2 modes this can be used in now are when you want to stream from this box into the studio, you just use the YoloBox as a monitor. Mm-hmm. You're not really using it for anything else. Press the multi-view button down here so you can see all the cameras. This is being one of the wireless cameras. Your other wireless camera from the other transmitter that's over there. And then if you want to stream from here to the internet without any of the gear in the studio, then you would switch the ATEM into program out mode. And now on the YoloBox, you don't see the multi-view.
Ah.
Right.
Good thing you tell me that.
Yep. So those are the 2 different two different ways to use this. And then this is now showing us only whatever the ATEM is connected to. So if I press the button, we'll lose the camera. But the whatever you press down here on the ATEM is what the YoloBox sees, and then you can actually go live from the YoloBox. And this is, again, why I like the YoloBox so much, because it's so much easier to do things like image overlays on the YoloBox compared to with the ATEM.
Yeah,
So
that's what I want.
exactly. So now we can do that, and this would be streaming to YouTube. You go over to the when you set it up with a live event, right? You stream to YouTube from that, and then you still switch your cameras down here with all the gear plugged into it. So I think that's a pretty good combo kit of both two different ways of using that case.
Didn't realize that.
Yep, good. Good. Cool. Well, we finished our two main tasks. One was the network, which was the hard part, and then the other was getting the audio from the Rodecaster. That's the right word, right?
Yeah, Rodecaster Pro.
Rodecaster Pro. It's been a long day now. Into the ATEM, but this is looking good. So I think any other questions? Nope. Cool. What else? What other questions do you have? How are you feeling?
No, like I feel like you've sort of simplified what I'm thinking. Because at first, before, I was just saying I want this and that, but I get confused on everything, and having no background on this stuff, but just being brave to purchase the equipment is
Yeah, and I think knowing what you want to get out of it first is a good way to start. So like knowing that you want a certain number of overhead shots. Let me go back to we have a couple of overhead shots. We've got the one that I was writing on. We've got the mixer shot over here.
the stove.
We've got the stove shot over here. And then the main camera, which is not the main camera right now because it's the streaming bridge right now, kind of points to where, like, with all that set up, now you kind of know where the limit is, right? You know that, like, oh, in order to switch between doing something only in the studio or doing something combination of a remote kit going into the studio, like, you're out of inputs. And in order to be able to have it always set up so that all of them are possibilities, then you actually do need to do something else next.
I have to update you with that.
You will. And you have a couple options. You can do the extreme, which is, I think the benefit of that is that it's all in one thing. It's, you've got the 8 buttons to press. There's way more buttons than you would ever need to press on that thing. I swear they put too many buttons on the front of it, but whatever. At least there's the big 8 buttons that are the main ones that I only ever press, those buttons. And the other way to do it, though, is to do... the downside of switching to the extreme is that you have an extra ATEM Mini, right? It'll replace that ATEM Mini. And that you would need to sell that or figure out something else to do with it.
The ISO will go there probably.
And then you have that one.
And the Pro, I might use it as a...
Oh, you could use it for monitors.
Yep. Sometimes I'm having difficulty to...
That's true. I remember when we were in here earlier, you were unplugging a bunch of cables back there to get the monitors to work right. So that's a good point. Use one of the ATEM Minis to drive your monitors.
Too expensive to be as... but I have it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And...
or I could sell that so that I could fund half of... Sell
it to fund half of the extreme. Yep. The other way to go is to get the cheapest ATEM Mini.
Yeah.
And put it in front of that ISO,
Oh.
right? Because essentially the problem that you've got here is you've run out of you've run out of inputs on this. So what we had to do was we had to unplug one of the cameras and plug in the streaming bridge.
Yeah.
So instead, if you had another ATEM in front of it here, that ATEM could be feeding one of the inputs, right?
Just like how you did it before.
I did that for a long time, actually. I had 2 of the ATEM minis, so I could get 3 extra inputs on one of the inputs on the main ATEM. And it definitely works. I would say that that's... it's much less convenient than having 8 always accessible. But if you only need to switch that, like... If it's really just like, oh, today I'm working in the studio, so I'm going to have, input 4 is going to be my main camera today. And then if tomorrow you're like, I'm doing a totally different project. We're going to go use the remote kit. You switch input 4 to be the streaming bridge. That's fine. That's easier to get your head around. Where it gets more awkward is if you are within one show having to switch that input 4 to be multiple different cameras, because then it's just really hard to remember what's plugged into what.
Yeah, unless you label it.
Unless you label it, but you also don't get the multi-view on the small ATEM, so it's, you really have to trust your labels and remember. So that's the big advantage of the Extreme, I guess, is you just have all 8 all at once. Chris says, I've done a ton of cooking streams and never used less than 6 cameras. Definitely need a variety of angles. Yeah. Question, are you all implementing stream decks for an interface? So that's definitely another step to go, another step here, which is the stream deck. So yeah, I guess we can talk through that really quick. Again, like we mentioned in the beginning, we're kind of going back to the beginning here. We've been live for a long time.
Yeah.
Back to the beginning of this, you mentioned that you have 2 main things you want to do here. One is the streams, live streams, and one is the edited, recorded videos.
Yeah.
When you do the recorded videos, do you like to work where you are doing the switching live and you just have one recording at the end that you edit? Or would you rather not worry about pressing the buttons while you're cooking and just all cameras are recording?
It's the ISO.
The ISO, yeah, okay. And that's exactly the same with me, is that I really just hit record, all tracks are recording, and then you just deal with it later.
Because I tried before with the Pro, and tendency is sometimes there's a switching that you switch it too early.
Yep.
And I could no longer go back.
Yep, exactly.
So it's not worth the hassle.
Yep. So the reason I was asking is that I think that kind of determines how much you need the Stream Deck. Because if for your edited videos, if you're just hitting record, I don't touch the Stream Deck when I'm recording those videos, really. Once I hit go, I just hit start and stop. And you can just press the start and stop record on the ISO itself or on your computer. So you don't need a Stream Deck for that, really.
When I'm live streaming, I'm showing the lower thirds. I touch the YOLO more often because of the lower I'm showing the recipes. So rather than probably the switching too much.
Yeah, so I think in that case, the Stream Deck doesn't talk to the YoloBox at all right now. I keep bugging Frank to add automation support so we can work the Stream Deck into the YoloBox workflow, but it doesn't exist right now, so we can't assume that's going to be there. He's hopefully watching. But the so yeah, maybe the Stream Deck is not super critical here, because if you have to be touching the YoloBox to do the lower thirds anyway, then you have to be near it when you're using it. So it's not.
That's why it's there.
That's why it's there. Yeah, and then the buttons for the ATEM aren't that far away either. So yeah, I think that's I think it's fine to start there. I will say one of the other challenges with the Stream Deck is that it's just getting it wired into the network. Again, like everything, the networking is the hardest, most confusing part. So you've got the Raspberry Pi in the case, but that actually kind of makes it more complicated because it means that in order to use it, you have to cross that network bridge again in order to get it to control the gear that's in part of the studio itself. So I think it's totally fine to just forget about it for a while. Don't worry about it, and just like, use the computer interface for controlling the cameras, controlling the audio. Worry about automating it later once you know exactly what are the things that you're doing often enough that you need to automate. Because like, that's how I've built up all the buttons on my Stream Deck. It's not, I don't go and add buttons for everything right off the bat. I wait until I notice that I'm doing something repeatedly that takes more steps than I want it to. So if it takes me, like, I have to switch windows to this other app on my computer, press this button, then go to some other app and press this button, then I'm like, oh, that's a great opportunity to make a Stream Deck button that does both things, because it saves a lot of time if I do that a bunch of times. If I only do it once or twice every couple months, then whatever. It's not worth the trouble.
Yeah, I can do the picture-in-picture with YOLO.
Yeah, YoloBox's picture-in-picture, great. It's frankly a lot easier on the YoloBox, so I think that's good too. But yeah, I think you have a really good setup here, and certainly the aesthetic is fantastic.
It's just a matter of doing it.
It's a matter of doing it, which is always the hard part.
For more than a year now.
Yeah. Actually, making the content. I just want to point out the fantastic purple microwave and air fryer, kettle. It's all just very. It's great. It's great. Okay, so I think we should wrap up here.
Yep.
We've been streaming for like 2 hours. We got some stuff working. If you joined late, go back to the beginning because we did a little tour looking around and showing all the cameras and the fantastic ceiling rig, which I'm definitely going to try to steal. So, yeah.
If you're interested on the outcome later, you could watch my live in my channel one day.
Yeah, please do. Links to Mother B's channels our channel is down below in the description, in the title. Please, definitely, I would love to, watch when you go live, and hopefully you get a chance to try this stuff out again soon. All right, I'm exhausted.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made you work so hard.
But hey, we got some stuff sorted out. Learned some things about networking. Got the little wireless router figured out, and I'll leave. Oh, you know what we didn't actually finish doing, but at least we've got a start to the template, is making sure all the settings on the cameras match. So I would recommend keeping notes. I'm going to do this when I get home. Whenever you set settings on the G7 cameras or any camera, write down what you did. That way you can replicate it when you get more of them, or if for some reason you have to reset the cameras, which happens, then easier to recreate that. Yeah. All right.
Thank you very much, Aaron.
Thank you. It's so nice to see the studio here. And thank you everybody for watching. And yeah, with that, with any luck, I'll be back in Portland next week and back to my normal show time. Normal show. May not be normal. I might be setting up my own studio next week because mine is still torn apart from all the construction work being done. And hopefully it's put back together enough that I can start rearranging things inside again. And maybe I can make mine look this nice someday. This is Very, very nice in here. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.